In the grim darkness of the far future, where there is only war, moments of peace are as rare as ancient relics. Yet even the mightiest warriors of humanity, the Emperor's gene-forged sons, found themselves between campaigns, navigating the delicate balance between their martial nature and periods of relative tranquility. The vast halls of their fortress monasteries and flagships often echoed with more than just the sounds of war preparations. These transcendent beings, crafted for conquest yet imbued with incredible intellects, pursued interests that might surprise those who knew them only as instruments of war. Consider Guilliman's quarters aboard the Macragg's Honor, where tactical displays share space with philosophical texts from Terra's ancient past. Or picture the forges of Vulcan, where the ring of his hammer crafts not weapons of war, but intricate artifacts that blur the line between art and engineering. These moments, often overlooked by imperial historians, reveal a fascinating dimension to these legendary figures. The 20 were more than mere generals or warriors. They were scholars, artists, and visionaries. Each pursued unique interests that reflected their specialized gene-craft and personal inclinations. From the artistic pursuits of Fulgrim in his private galleries to the solitary hunts of the lion in the forests of Caliban, their activities during peacetime shaped not only their own development, but the cultures of their legion homeworlds. Yet these periods of respite served a greater purpose beyond mere leisure. They were crucial moments of preparation, reflection, and development. The sons of the Emperor used these interludes to forge stronger bonds with their legion, enhance their understanding of the universe they were helping to unite, and contemplate the grand vision of the imperial truth. Behind closed doors, away from the thundering of artillery and the roar of dropships, these demigods engaged in pursuits that might seem surprisingly human. Some found solace in intellectual challenges, others in creative expression, and a few in the simple pleasure of brotherhood with their fellow Primarchs. As we delve deeper into these rare glimpses of tranquility in lives dominated by eternal warfare, we uncover a side of the Emperor's sons that rarely makes it into official imperial records. Their moments of peace reveal as much about their nature as their mighty deeds in battle, offering invaluable insights into these extraordinary beings who shaped the destiny of mankind. In examining these private moments, we gain a deeper understanding of how these legendary figures balanced their dual nature as both warriors and leaders, as both tools of conquest and independent beings with their own aspirations and interests. Their activities during peacetime would often prove just as crucial to the Great Crusade as their military campaigns, though in ways far more subtle than the thundering of bolter fire. As we explore this lesser-known aspect of the Primarch's existence, we shall see how their downtime activities influenced not only their own development, but also the cultures of their legions and the broader Imperium itself. These moments of peace, brief though they might have been, left an indelible mark on the galaxy that persists even in the Dark Millennium. The Emperor's masterwork of genetic engineering produced beings whose interests and pursuits during peacetime were as diverse as their battle strategies. Each of these transhuman demigods developed unique approaches to their rare moments of respite, influenced by their distinctive personalities and the cultures of their adopted homeworlds. The angel Sanguinius devoted his peaceful hours to artistic endeavors, his gifted hands as skilled with brush and chisel as they were with blade. In the halls of the 9th Legion's flagship, he would often spend solar weeks crafting intricate frescoes depicting humanity's future glory, his prophetic visions guiding each stroke. His works, carefully preserved by the Blood Angels, captured both the nightmare of war and the dream of peace with equal mastery. Among the forges of Nocturne, Vulcan established a tradition of craftsmanship that transcended mere weapon-making. During periods between campaigns, he taught his sons the art of creating items of profound beauty and practical use, from ceremonial chalices to architectural marvels. These sessions served as both meditation and instruction, strengthening the bonds between the father of the salamanders and his gene-sons. The Wolf King of Fenris approached Downtime with characteristic vigor, leading his sons in great hunts across the frozen wastes of their home world. These expeditions served multiple purposes: honing skills, testing mettle, and forging the brotherhood that made the 6th Legion legendary. Around massive feast halls, tales of these hunts became part of the rich oral tradition that defined their culture. In his personal sanctuary aboard the Fotep, Magnus the Red maintained a vast collection of knowledge from across the galaxy. Between military engagements, he dedicated himself to understanding the fundamental nature of reality, conducting complex experiments, and sharing insights with a select group of scholarly warriors among his 1,000 sons. The Lord of Iron transformed his periods of peace into opportunities for innovation. His architectural genius reshaped entire worlds, creating magnificent structures that served both practical and aesthetic purposes. These projects became proving grounds where he tested new theories of urban development and planetary infrastructure. On Chogoris, the Great Khan found tranquility in the ancient arts of calligraphy and poetry. His works, swift and precise as his combat style, captured the wisdom of both his adopted culture and the deeper truths he discovered during his conquests. These scrolls became treasured relics among his White Scars, who continued the tradition of warrior poets. The Night Haunter's rare moments away from combat revealed a different kind of darkness. In his private chambers, he would spend hours carving intricate sculptures from rare materials, each piece reflecting the complex duality of justice and vengeance that dominated his worldview. Few ever saw these works, though rumors speak of their haunting beauty. Even the most militant of the Emperor's sons found unique ways to spend their peaceful hours. Rogel Dorn immersed himself in architectural theory, planning fortifications that would never fall. The Praetorians' dedication to defensive theory produced innovations that would later prove invaluable during the greatest tests of the Imperium's strength. The Angel of Ultramar approached these periods methodically, dividing his time between governance, scholarly pursuits, and cultural refinement. His personal chambers contained not only tactical simulations, but also extensive collections of historical texts and philosophical works, reflecting his belief in the importance of well-rounded leadership. Across the stars, each of these legendary beings developed distinct approaches to their rare moments of peace. Some sought solitude in private pursuits, while others used this time to strengthen the bonds with their sons. Their activities during these interludes revealed aspects of their character often overshadowed by their martial achievements. These periods of respite also highlighted the complex relationships between brothers. Some would seek each other out, sharing rare moments of brotherhood away from the pressures of command. The Angel and the Lord of Ultramar often exchanged thoughts on art and governance, while the Wolf King and the Gorgon engaged in good-natured competitions of strength and skill. Understanding how these transformed humans spent their peaceful moments provides crucial insight into their true nature. These were not mere weapons of war, but complex beings whose interests and pursuits help shape the culture of the Imperium itself. Their legacy lives on not just in tales of battle, but in the art, architecture, and wisdom they created during their precious moments of peace. The seeds of these diverse peacetime pursuits were sown long before the Emperor's sons took command of their legions. Their scattered upbringings on various worlds shaped not only their martial abilities, but also their intellectual and cultural inclinations. These formative experiences, combined with their superhuman genetics, created beings whose interests extended far beyond the battlefield. On Prospero, the early years of the Crimson King were marked by an insatiable hunger for knowledge. The planet's society of scholar-psychers provided an environment where intellectual pursuit was valued as highly as martial prowess. This foundation would later influence how many of his brothers approached their own periods of study and contemplation, establishing a precedent for balancing warfare with wisdom. The cultural richness of Chemos played a crucial role in developing appreciation for artistry among the warriors of the Third Legion. Their Genesire's exposure to the planet's emphasis on perfection in all endeavors, from combat to creation, demonstrated how excellence could be pursued in multiple spheres. This philosophy spread through the Great Crusade, influencing how other legions viewed their non-combat hours. Terra itself, during the Unification Wars, served as a crucible where the importance of diverse skills became apparent. The Emperor's vision required warriors who could not only conquer but also govern, create, and preserve. This fundamental understanding shaped how his sons would later approach their responsibilities during peacetime, recognizing that building an empire required more than military might. The technological heritage of Mars, with its combination of innovation and tradition, provided a template for how creative pursuits could coexist with martial discipline. The Mechanicum's influence extended beyond mere weapon crafting, showing how technical knowledge could be applied to everything from artistic expression to architectural design. Ancient Terran traditions, preserved through the Age of Strife, played a subtle but significant role. Historical records of warrior scholars and soldier artists from humanity's past suggested models for how military leaders could cultivate broader interests. These examples resonated with many of the Emperor's sons, who saw in them reflections of their own potential. The necessity for effective governance during the Great Crusade created circumstances where diverse skills became essential. As worlds were brought into compliance, the challenge of maintaining and developing these acquisitions required abilities beyond tactical acumen. This reality forced the development of administrative, diplomatic, and cultural capabilities among the Emperor's generals. Interactions with various human civilizations during the Great Crusade exposed the legions to countless different approaches to art, science, and culture. These encounters broadened perspectives and inspired many to explore new forms of expression and study during their limited free time. Each discovered world offered fresh insights into how human potential could be realized in different ways. The creation of the Librarius highlighted the importance of preserving knowledge and culture alongside military strength. This institution demonstrated how martial and scholarly pursuits could complement each other, setting a precedent for how legions would approach their developmental activities between campaigns. Competition between the legions extended beyond military achievements into cultural and intellectual realms. Each sought to distinguish itself not only through battlefield glory, but also through contributions to imperial civilization. This rivalry spurred the development of unique traditions and practices during peacetime. The establishment of Legion homeworlds created environments where distinctive cultures could flourish. These planetary bases became centers of learning and creativity, where warrior societies developed rich traditions that encompassed art, architecture, literature, and philosophy. Each world's unique characteristics influenced how its legion approached non-military pursuits. The Emperor's own example, as not just a warrior but also a scientist, scholar, and visionary, set a powerful precedent. His sons recognized that their genetic heritage included not only physical and martial superiority, but also the potential for intellectual and creative excellence. This understanding fundamentally shaped how they viewed their role during periods of peace. The practical needs of empire building required diverse skills. Managing vast fleets, coordinating with various imperial institutions, and administering conquered territories all demanded abilities beyond warfare. These responsibilities naturally led to the development of varied interests and capabilities among the Emperor's generals. The relative stability of compliant worlds provided opportunities for cultural development. As areas of the Imperium became secure, attention could turn to matters beyond immediate military necessity. This created space for the cultivation of arts, sciences, and philosophical discourse within the legions. The evolution of peacetime activities among the Emperor's generals followed a distinct pattern throughout the Great Crusade, each phase marking a different approach to their rare moments of respite. Initially, these periods were brief and focused primarily on military preparation, but they gradually expanded to encompass broader pursuits as the Imperium grew. In the earliest days following their reunification with the Emperor, many of his sons struggled to adapt to periods of inactivity. The Lord of the First Legion, in particular, would spend countless hours in the training cages aboard his flagship, his restless energy finding outlet in endless combat simulations. These early attempts at managing downtime revealed the challenge of balancing their warrior nature with the need for rest and reflection. As the crusade progressed, structured routines began to emerge. Aboard the vengeful spirit, strategic planning sessions evolved into sophisticated war games that combined military theory with philosophical debate. These gatherings attracted various brothers, each bringing unique perspectives shaped by their experiences across the galaxy. The discussions would often continue long into the night cycle, touching on subjects far beyond warfare. The establishment of permanent bases opened new avenues for peaceful pursuits. The Fortress of Eternal on Olympia became renowned for its extensive libraries, where warriors gathered to study ancient texts and debate their meaning. These collections grew as new worlds were brought into compliance, each edition bringing fresh perspectives and knowledge to be examined during periods between campaigns. Development of Legion cultures accelerated during the middle years of the Crusade. The Death Guard established their first formal remembrance halls, where warriors would gather during respite to record their experiences and honor fallen brothers. These practices spread to other legions, each adapting the tradition to their own customs and beliefs. The creation of the Council of Nicaea marked a significant shift in how knowledge and study were approached during peacetime. While some paths of learning were restricted, others flourished. The Iron Hands began documenting their technological innovations in great detail, establishing archives that would influence Imperial engineering for millennia to come. Personal pursuits became more sophisticated as the Crusade matured. In the arts district of Carinae Prime, the Phoenix Lord established special workshops where warriors could learn traditional crafting techniques from master artisans. These sessions provided therapeutic benefits, helping warriors process their experiences through creative expression. Diplomatic responsibilities increasingly filled the peaceful hours. On 6319, formal ceremonies and negotiations required careful preparation and cultural understanding. Many sons of the Emperor developed elaborate protocols for these interactions, turning diplomacy into an art form that rivaled their martial achievements. The construction of permanent monuments and structures intensified during later campaign phases. The Praetorian Sons began incorporating architectural studies into their regular duties, viewing each moment of peace as an opportunity to strengthen the physical foundations of the Imperium. Their works combined practical defense with stunning aesthetic achievements. Cultural exchange between legions reached its peak during this period. The Khan's warriors introduced their poetry traditions to the word-bearers, who in turn shared their skills in oratory and rhetoric. These interactions created rich new forms of expression that blended different legion traditions. Scientific pursuits gained prominence as the Crusade encountered more complex challenges. Research facilities established on conquered worlds became centers of innovation, where warriors could study everything from xenology to theoretical physics during their downtime. These studies often yielded practical applications that improved Imperial technology. The development of educational systems within the legions marked another significant phase. Veteran warriors began formally teaching younger generations not just combat skills, but also history, philosophy, and various technical disciplines. These teaching traditions became an important part of how knowledge was preserved and transmitted during peaceful periods. Athletic competitions between legions evolved beyond simple tests of martial skill. The Luna Wolves established the first interlegion games, where warriors competed in everything from traditional sports to intellectual challenges. These events provided crucial outlets for competitive energy during peacetime while strengthening bonds between different legions. The final years of the Unified Crusade saw the emergence of more contemplative practices. Meditation chambers became common features on Legion flagships, providing spaces for warriors to reflect and process their experiences. Some legions developed sophisticated mental disciplines that helped them maintain balance between their warrior nature and their expanding intellectual interests. Understanding these chronological developments reveals how the Emperor's sons and their legions gradually built rich cultural traditions that extended far beyond their military duties. Each phase of development added new layers to their peacetime activities, creating complex societies that were as skilled in arts and scholarship as they were in warfare. The discovery of the Rosetta Stellar Archive marked a profound shift in how the Emperor's generals approached their periods of peace. This vast repository of Dark Age knowledge, uncovered during compliance operations in the Ghoul Stars, contained not just technological secrets, but also extensive records of how humanity's leaders historically balanced their duties with personal development. The archive's impact rippled through the legions as its contents were studied and debated. Ancient texts spoke of legendary warriors who were also poets, philosophers, and artists. These accounts resonated deeply with the Emperor's sons, validating their own diverse interests and inspiring new approaches to their limited leisure time. Within months of the archive's discovery, a significant transformation began aboard the capital ships of several legions. The Thousand Suns flagship, Fotep, underwent extensive modifications to include dedicated research facilities where warriors could pursue scientific studies between campaigns. This initiative spread rapidly, with other legions adapting the concept to fit their own interests and specialties. The construction of the Alexandrian wing aboard the Invincible Reason demonstrated this new philosophy in action. This massive library complex, designed for both study and contemplation, represented a dramatic shift from the purely martial focus of earlier Legion vessels. Its success prompted similar developments across the fleet, creating spaces specifically designed for intellectual and creative pursuits. A crucial moment came during the compliance of the Calypsos cluster, where the Iron Hands encountered a civilization that had achieved remarkable harmony between technological advancement and artistic expression. This discovery challenged existing perceptions about the relationship between progress and creativity, inspiring many legions to reevaluate their approach to non-combat activities. The establishment of the first cultural exchange protocol revolutionized how legions interacted during peaceful periods. Initiated after lengthy discussions between several brothers, this formal system facilitated the sharing of knowledge, arts, and traditions between different legions. Warriors could now spend their downtime learning from other cultures within the Imperial family, broadening their perspectives and skills. Perhaps the most significant turning point came with the founding of the Symposium of Excellence, a regular gathering where warriors from all legions could present their non-martial achievements. The first event, held in the newly constructed halls of the Imperial Palace, showcased everything from theoretical physics to classical sculpture, demonstrating the extraordinary breadth of talent within the legions. The success of the symposium led to the creation of specialized academies within legion fortresses. The Iron Warriors School of Advanced Engineering on Olympia became renowned for its groundbreaking research conducted during periods between campaigns. Similar institutions appeared across Legion homeworlds, each focusing on different aspects of human knowledge and achievement. A watershed moment occurred when the Master of Mankind himself attended one of these gatherings, expressing approval for the broader development of his warriors. His presence validated these pursuits, leading to increased support and resources for non-combat education and activities throughout the legions. The implementation of the wisdom protocols formalized how knowledge was shared during peaceful periods. These guidelines, developed through collaboration between multiple legions, established standards for documentation and preservation of both martial and non-martial knowledge. This system ensured that valuable insights and achievements would not be lost to time or war. Another crucial development came with the creation of the Artisan Warrior program. This initiative, spearheaded by several forward-thinking brothers, formally recognized the value of developing skills beyond warfare. Warriors who excelled in both combat and creative pursuits were given opportunities to teach others, creating a new class of mentor within the legions. The discovery of the Helios manuscripts in the ruins of a Dark Age facility provided ancient templates for balancing military excellence with scholarly achievement. These documents became the foundation for new training programs that incorporated both martial and intellectual development, fundamentally changing how warriors spent their time between battles. The establishment of the Great Archives Project marked another significant shift. This ambitious initiative aimed to document not just military victories, but all aspects of Legion achievement. Special facilities were constructed on various worlds to preserve artwork, scientific discoveries, and philosophical writings created during periods of peace. The formation of the Council of Knowledge and Heritage demonstrated the growing importance placed on non-combat achievements. This advisory body, composed of distinguished warriors from various legions, guided the development of cultural and educational programs throughout the Imperium. Their recommendations shaped how future generations would approach the balance between war and peace. These pivotal moments transformed the legions from purely military organizations into complex societies that valued both martial prowess and intellectual achievement. The changes that began with the Rosetta Archives discovery culminated in a new understanding of what it meant to be a warrior in service to the Imperium, creating traditions that would influence Imperial culture for millennia to come. The cultivation of diverse interests during peaceful periods yielded unexpected benefits that extended far beyond personal enrichment. Across the expanding Imperium, the impact of these pursuits manifested in ways that would fundamentally reshape human civilization. The synthesis of warrior discipline with scholarly and artistic achievement created lasting legacies that would influence Imperial culture for millennia to come. Among the most profound consequences was the establishment of the hexagrammatic libraries on key Legion worlds. These institutions, each specializing in different fields of study, became centers of learning that attracted scholars from across Imperial space. The library's unique approach to knowledge preservation, combining military precision with academic rigor, set new standards for Imperial archival practices. The development of innovative construction techniques emerged as an unexpected benefit of architectural studies undertaken during peaceful periods. Warriors who spent their downtime studying ancient building methods created new approaches to fortification that seamlessly blended form with function. These advancements led to the creation of structures that were both more resilient and more aesthetically pleasing than their predecessors. Cultural exchange between compliant worlds increased dramatically as warriors shared their artistic discoveries and techniques. The establishment of the Imperial Arts Circuit, a network of galleries and performance spaces across major worlds, facilitated the spread of creative expression throughout the Imperium. This network became a crucial channel for maintaining unity through shared cultural experiences. Scientific advancement accelerated as warriors applied their enhanced intellects to theoretical research during periods between campaigns. The founding of the Occidental Research Institutes on multiple worlds created spaces where Legion veterans could collaborate with civilian scientists, leading to breakthroughs in fields ranging from materials science to void ship design. The emphasis on intellectual development led to improved diplomatic outcomes during compliance operations. Warriors who had studied philosophy and rhetoric during their downtime demonstrated greater skill in negotiations, resulting in more worlds joining the Imperium through peaceful means. This reduction in unnecessary conflict preserved valuable resources and infrastructure. Agricultural practices across the Imperium benefited from the horticultural experiments conducted in Legion Fortress monasteries. Warriors who tended gardens during peaceful periods developed new techniques for growing food in hostile environments, directly contributing to improved food security on frontier worlds. The establishment of the Therapeutic Arts program demonstrated the psychological benefits of creative pursuits. Warriors who engaged in artistic activities between campaigns showed improved mental resilience and better stress management. These findings led to the formal incorporation of creative expression into Legion training protocols. Technological innovation flourished as warriors applied their combat experiences to peaceful applications. The development of the Mercurial Forge Network, a system for sharing technical knowledge between Legion worlds, accelerated the spread of new technologies throughout Imperial space. This network became crucial for maintaining technological standards across the expanding empire. Educational methodologies evolved as warrior scholars refined their teaching techniques. The creation of the Mentor Legion programs established new standards for how knowledge was transmitted, combining traditional instruction with practical application. These methods were eventually adopted by civilian institutions throughout the Imperium. Medical knowledge advanced significantly through the systematic study of enhanced physiology during peaceful periods. Research conducted in Legion apothecarians led to improvements in both battlefield medicine and civilian healthcare. The establishment of the Medicae exchange program facilitated the sharing of these discoveries with imperial healthcare institutions. Astronomical understanding expanded through observations made during fleet downtime. Warriors who studied the stars between campaigns contributed to more accurate navigation charts and improved warp travel predictions. The founding of the Stellar Cartography Institute formalized these contributions to Imperial space exploration. Social structures on compliant worlds were strengthened by the example of Legion cultural practices. The implementation of the cultural integration protocols provided frameworks for maintaining order and promoting progress while respecting local traditions. These systems proved crucial for stable planetary governance. Economic development benefited from Legion expertise in logistics and resource management. Warriors who studied economics during peaceful periods helped establish trade networks between compliant worlds, leading to increased prosperity throughout Imperial space. The creation of the Commercial Standards Bureau ensured these networks operated efficiently. The long-term impact of these peacetime pursuits created a more robust and culturally rich Imperium. The synthesis of martial prowess with intellectual and artistic achievement produced a civilization that was stronger not just militarily, but culturally and scientifically as well. These developments would prove crucial for humanity's continued survival and advancement in the face of countless challenges. The peaceful periods between campaigns fostered remarkable technological and methodological innovations that transcended purely military applications. The sons of the Emperor, applying their superhuman intellects to various pursuits, developed sophisticated systems and techniques that would shape Imperial society for millennia to come. Within the crystalline spires of the Novatech Institute, warriors of the Iron Tenth pioneered the integration of artistic expression with machine interface. These experiments led to the development of the Sensorum Matrix, a revolutionary system that allowed for the creation of interactive artistic experiences. The technology combined neurological feedback with holographic projection, creating immersive environments that could be used for both entertainment and tactical simulation. The Raven Guard's contribution to stealth technology found unexpected applications in civilian architecture. Their research into light absorption materials and sound dampening, originally conducted during quiet periods between missions, led to the creation of privacy systems that became standard in Imperial administrative buildings. The WhisperTech protocol, as it became known, revolutionized how sensitive discussions could be conducted in populated areas. Deep beneath the oceans of Poseidon Prime, the Imperial Fists established research facilities dedicated to underwater construction techniques. Their studies of marine architecture produced innovations in pressure resistance and structural integrity that would later be applied to void ship design. The aqua pattern fortifications they developed became the foundation for humanity's first successful deep-sea colonies. The White Scar's expertise in high-speed combat evolved into groundbreaking advances in civilian transportation. Their research into gravitic propulsion during peaceful periods resulted in the development of the Swift Pattern Transport System. These vehicles combined unprecedented speed with remarkable safety features, revolutionizing planetary transit networks. In the botanical laboratories of the Death Guard's Fortress Monastery, warriors studied xenoflora during their downtime. This research led to breakthroughs in biological filtration systems and environmental purification. The purity protocol they established became the standard for atmospheric cleansing on newly compliant worlds, ensuring safe habitation for human colonists. The Blood Angels' artistic pursuits yielded unexpected advances in medical technology. Their detailed study of anatomy for sculptural purposes led to improvements in augmetic design. The Vitae pattern interfaces they developed created more natural integration between organic tissue and mechanical components, significantly improving the quality of life for augmented civilians. Within the Word-Bearers' scriptoriums, new methods of data storage and retrieval were pioneered. Their system of crystalline memory matrices, developed to preserve their scholarly works, offered unprecedented information density and durability. The Memoriam protocol they established revolutionized how the Imperium preserved its historical records. The Salamander's metallurgical experiments during peaceful periods produced remarkable advances in material science. Their development of adaptive ceramide compounds led to the creation of self-repairing structures. The perpetual pattern architecture they pioneered became essential for constructing lasting monuments across the Imperium. In orbital laboratories, the Alpha Legion perfected new techniques for environmental adaptation. Their research into human physiological responses to different planetary conditions led to the development of the Adaptus Protocol, a comprehensive system for preparing colonists for life on frontier worlds. The Ultramarines' studies in organizational efficiency produced the Logistics Enhancement Network, a sophisticated system for coordinating civilian supply chains. This technology, developed during administrative downtime, dramatically improved resource distribution across Imperial space. World Eater's research into neural architecture, conducted during rare peaceful moments, yielded insights into pain management and psychological resilience. The tranquility protocols they developed found widespread application in civilian medical facilities, particularly in trauma treatment. The Dark Angels' experiments with plasma containment led to breakthroughs in sustainable energy generation. Their luminous pattern reactors, developed in secret facilities during downtime, provided stable power solutions for frontier colonies while maintaining remarkable safety standards. Sons of Horus warriors pioneered new techniques in holographic communication during fleet maintenance periods. Their developments in long-range signal clarity and data compression resulted in the creation of the Clarity Protocol, significantly improving interstellar communication reliability. Emperor's children artisans developed revolutionary techniques in material manipulation while pursuing their drive for perfection. Their research into molecular restructuring led to the creation of self-maintaining fabrics and surfaces, innovations that would find countless applications in civilian infrastructure. These technological developments, born from the peaceful pursuits of enhanced warriors, demonstrated how periods of respite could yield advances as significant as any battlefield victory. The marriage of transhuman intellect with diverse interests produced innovations that would serve humanity far beyond their original applications. Beyond the legendary figures of the Emperor's sons themselves, numerous individuals made remarkable contributions during the peaceful interludes of the Great Crusade. These heroes and antagonists shaped how the legions approached their rare moments of tranquility, leaving lasting impressions on Imperial culture. Master Artificer Kalis of the 13th Legion established the first formal artistic exchange program between Astartes and civilian craftsmen. His revolutionary approach to combining traditional techniques with transhuman precision created entirely new forms of artistic expression. The Kalian School of Design, founded in the spires of Macragge, produced works that would influence imperial aesthetics for millennia. Contradicting this cultural flowering, Arch-Censor Dominius of the imperial bureaucracy advocated for strict limitations on warrior scholars' academic pursuits. His infamous warfare-only doctrine attempted to restrict legion activities to purely military matters, arguing that intellectual diversification weakened combat effectiveness. Though his efforts ultimately failed, they sparked intense debate about the role of enhanced warriors in imperial society. Chief Librarian Epistolary. Nemid of the Salamanders pioneered the integration of tactical knowledge with artistic expression. His innovative combat meditation techniques, incorporating traditional Nocturnian crafts, dramatically improved warriors' battlefield focus and post-combat recovery. The Nemid protocols became standard practice across multiple legions. Lord Admiral Kira van Schergen gained notoriety for her opposition to Legion involvement in civilian scientific research. Her attempts to restrict warrior access to Imperial research facilities highlighted the tension between military and civilian authorities. The subsequent Knowledge Liberation campaign led to significant reforms in how information was shared across Imperial institutions. Forged Lord Hexus of the Iron Warriors transformed architectural theory during peaceful periods. His revolutionary designs merged aesthetic beauty with unprecedented structural resilience. The Hexus pattern fortifications he developed while studying ancient Terran architecture redefined Imperial military construction standards. In contrast, Magos Obscurus Vex of the Mechanicum secretly worked to suppress Legion technological innovations that threatened traditional Mechanicum monopolies. His shadow war against warrior engineers led to the loss of several groundbreaking discoveries, though his eventual exposure sparked reforms in Imperial patent law. Chapter Master Aurelius of the Ninth Legion established the first formal Legion art preservation program. His efforts to document and protect warrior-created artworks during the Great Crusade preserved countless masterpieces that would otherwise have been lost to time. The Aurelius archives remain a cornerstone of Imperial cultural heritage. Resistance came from unexpected quarters when High Curator Matthias launched his infamous Purity of Purpose campaign. His attempts to segregate military and civilian scholarly pursuits nearly succeeded in restricting Legion access to various fields of study. The subsequent intellectual underground movement demonstrated the determination of warrior scholars to maintain their broader education. Fleet Admiral Syra Novak championed the integration of Legion scientific research with Imperial Navy operations. Her support for warrior-led innovations in void ship technology helped overcome institutional resistance to transhuman contributions in non-combat fields. The Novak protocols for technical cooperation became standard across Imperial fleets. Working against such progress, Inquisitor precursor Thaddeus Voss attempted to classify all Legion scientific research as potential security risks. His extremist position on knowledge control sparked a crisis that ultimately led to better protection for academic freedom within the Imperium. Master of Sanctity Erebus Vale of the Word-Bearers revolutionized how legions preserved their cultural heritage. His development of psychically enhanced memory crystals allowed for perfect preservation of warrior-created art and literature. The Vale archival system became the foundation for Legion cultural documentation. Meanwhile, Commerce Lord Darius Vex gained infamy for his attempts to monetize Legion artistic creations without permission. His illegal reproduction of warrior-crafted artworks led to the establishment of strict Imperial intellectual property laws protecting Legion cultural productions. Archmagister Helena Crane of the Terran Universities championed cooperation between civilian academics and warrior scholars. Her groundbreaking Knowledge Without Bounds initiative created lasting bridges between military and civilian intellectual communities. The Crane Fellowships continue to promote such cooperation in the modern Imperium. Opposing such collaboration, Chancellor Supreme Octavian Reed orchestrated a systematic campaign to discredit warrior-led research initiatives. His political maneuvering caused significant delays in implementing Legion-developed technologies, though his eventual downfall served as a warning against academic discrimination. These individuals' actions during periods of peace shaped how future generations would view the relationship between warriors and wider Imperial society. Their successes and failures, their support and opposition, created the framework within which Legion cultural contributions would be preserved and celebrated throughout Imperial history. Amid the documented achievements and known pursuits of the Emperor's sons during peaceful periods, numerous mysteries remain. Ancient records speak of hidden projects, secret studies, and inexplicable phenomena that continue to intrigue Imperial scholars millennia later. Beneath the surface of Titan, excavators recently discovered a sealed vault bearing the insignia of multiple legions. Within, archaeologists found fragments of artistic works displaying impossible materials, pigments that shift color based on the viewer's thoughts and sculptures that appear to defy fundamental laws of physics. The purpose and origin of these artifacts remain hotly debated among Imperial scholars. The disappearance of the chronometric archives from the Imperial Palace continues to perplex investigators. These detailed records of how the Emperor's generals spent their private hours vanished without trace during the Great Crusade. Some theorize the archives contained revelations too profound for public knowledge, while others suggest they held evidence of forbidden research. On the frontier world of Hexos Prime, Imperial researchers uncovered a series of underground laboratories bearing Legion genetic markers. The facilities appear dedicated to studying the relationship between transhuman psychology and artistic expression. The partial records recovered hint at breakthrough discoveries regarding the connection between enhanced minds and creative potential. The existence of the Mirror Codex remains one of the most intriguing mysteries from this era. Referenced in multiple Legion documents, this theoretical work allegedly contained revolutionary insights about the nature of transhuman consciousness during periods of peace. All known copies vanished simultaneously across dozens of worlds, raising questions about its true content. Investigations into the quantum galleries continue to yield puzzling results. These specialized exhibition spaces, designed by warrior architects for displaying Legion artwork, reportedly induced unique psychological states in viewers. Modern attempts to replicate their construction have failed, suggesting the use of now-lost technologies or techniques. The fate of the mnemonic spheres, devices supposedly capable of perfectly preserving experiential memories, remains unknown. These artifacts, developed during peaceful studies of human consciousness, disappeared from Legion vaults without explanation. Theories range from technological malfunction to deliberate suppression of their capabilities. Imperial scholars still debate the meaning of the Helian equations discovered in Legion meditation chambers. These mathematical formulae, carved into the very walls, appear to describe impossible relationships between reality and perception. Their purpose and significance continue to elude even the most accomplished Imperial mathematicians. The mysterious Songs of Silence documented in Legion musical archives represent another enduring puzzle. These compositions, created during periods of fleet meditation, allegedly produced effects that transcended normal human perception. Modern attempts to perform them yield only conventional sounds, suggesting crucial elements have been lost to time. Investigations into the Philosopher's Forge remain inconclusive. This legendary facility, where warriors reportedly conducted experiments merging scientific and philosophical inquiry, has never been located. References to its groundbreaking discoveries appear in multiple Legion records, but details of its work remain elusive. The disappearance of the Aurora Codices continues to intrigue Imperial researchers. These comprehensive records of Legion artistic techniques vanished during a routine archival transfer. Surviving fragments suggest they contained information about methods of creation that challenged fundamental understanding of material reality. Questions persist about the true nature of the resonance chambers discovered in abandoned Legion fortresses. These specially constructed spaces allegedly enhanced cognitive function during peaceful studies, but modern analysis cannot explain their reported effects. Some theorize they utilized now-lost warp-based technologies. The purpose of the memory labyrinths remains debated among Imperial scholars. These intricate architectural structures, found in various Legion facilities, appear designed for some form of psychological conditioning during peace periods. Their complex patterns suggest meanings beyond simple meditation aids, but their true function remains unknown. Archaeological expeditions continue to search for traces of the Concordance engine, a device mentioned in multiple Legion research logs. This mysterious machine allegedly facilitated unprecedented levels of intellectual and creative collaboration, but no physical evidence of its existence has ever been found. The nature of the Twilight Protocols mentioned in Legion personal records presents another enduring mystery. These specialized procedures, apparently developed for managing transhuman consciousness during extended periods of peace, appear heavily redacted in all surviving documentation. Their true purpose and methodology remain unknown. These mysteries, each hinting at aspects of Legion activity during peaceful periods that transcend current Imperial understanding, continue to drive research and speculation. The fragments that remain suggest capabilities and insights that may have been lost forever, leaving future generations to wonder about the true extent of what was achieved during these rare moments of tranquility. In the war-torn realm of the far future, echoes of those rare peaceful moments continue to resonate through the millennia. The legacy of how the Emperor's sons spent their time between battles has left an indelible mark on Imperial culture, shaping how future generations would view the relationship between warfare and enlightenment. Deep within the vaults of Terra, ancient art pieces created during these periods of respite still influence modern Imperial aesthetics. The techniques developed by transhuman hands have evolved into distinct schools of artistic expression, each bearing subtle traces of their enhanced origins. These works serve as bridges between humanity's martial nature and its aspirational spirit. The philosophical treatises penned during fleet meditation sessions continue to guide Imperial scholars in their understanding of human potential. These texts, preserved in stasis-locked crystals, reveal profound insights into the nature of consciousness and the balance between warrior discipline and intellectual growth. Their wisdom remains relevant even in the darkest age of humanity. Across countless worlds, architectural marvels conceived during peaceful interludes stand as testament to the fusion of transhuman insight with human creativity. These structures, more than mere fortifications, embody principles of harmony and resilience that modern architects still strive to understand and replicate. Their enduring presence serves as a constant reminder of what can be achieved when strength serves vision. The scientific methodologies developed during these periods have evolved into cornerstone practices within the Adeptus Mechanicus. Though many original discoveries have been lost or obscured by time, the fundamental approaches to research and innovation established then continue to influence how the Imperium advances its technological understanding. In the great libraries of Ultramar, educational systems designed during these peaceful moments persist in modified forms. The methods created for training enhanced warriors in non-martial pursuits have been adapted for human scholars, creating unique approaches to learning that combine rigorous discipline with creative exploration. The cultural exchange networks established between legions have transformed into intricate webs of tradition and ceremony within the modern Adeptus Astartes. Though the original purposes may have been forgotten, the practices of sharing knowledge and artistic expression between chapters maintain threads of unity in an increasingly divided galaxy. Within certain sectors, the administrative systems developed during fleet downtime have evolved into essential components of Imperial governance. These organizational structures, designed by transhuman minds seeking efficiency and clarity, continue to provide frameworks for managing the vast bureaucracy of humanity's domain. The meditation techniques practiced between campaigns have become integral parts of Space Marine chapter traditions. These methods, passed down through generations of warriors, help maintain the delicate balance between combat efficiency and spiritual growth that characterizes the finest defenders of humanity. Secret archives throughout the Imperium still hold fragments of the great works created during these peaceful periods. These remnants, carefully preserved by devoted curators, provide tantalizing glimpses of a time when humanity's greatest warriors were also its greatest scholars and artists. Among the stars, vessels built according to designs conceived during fleet meditation continue to ply the void. Their layouts, incorporating spaces for both martial training and peaceful contemplation, reflect an understanding of the warrior psyche that modern shipwrights strive to maintain. The tradition of warrior scholars, established during these moments of peace, persists in various forms throughout the Imperium. Select chapters maintain specialized libraries and workshops where battle brothers pursue intellectual and artistic interests, continuing practices established by their primogenitors. Within the Inquisition's most secure vaults, Records of the peaceful pursuits of the Emperor's sons serve as reminders of humanity's potential. These documents, studied by successive generations of imperial leaders, provide insights into balancing the necessities of warfare with the aspirations of human advancement. The philosophical impact of these peaceful periods continues to influence imperial thought. The concept that humanity's greatest warriors should also be its greatest thinkers and creators has become deeply embedded in imperial culture, shaping how society views the relationship between martial prowess and intellectual achievement. As humanity faces ever-growing threats in the late 41st millennium, the legacy of these peaceful pursuits takes on new significance. The examples set by the Emperor's sons during their moments of peace serve as reminders that even in the darkest times, the light of human achievement can still shine through, guided by those who balance the sword with the pen, the bolter with the brush, and conquest with creation.